to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk Norris, please call the roll.
Mayor McClellan. Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Present.
Councilmember Edgar.
Here.
Councilmember Radner. Councilmember Whitehead.
Here.
Please add consideration of the proposed mural as item 15E. You should have an attachment. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Oh, I'm sorry. We need to remove items 13A and 13B in regards to the ordinances.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Next is the consent agenda. The following routine items are presented for City Council approval without discussion as a single agenda item. Should any council member wish to discuss or disapprove any item, it must be dropped from the blanket motion of approval and considered as a separate item.
I move to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you. The consent agenda consists of regular city council meeting minutes for November the 6th, 2023, special city council meeting minutes from November 6th, 2023, beautification commission meeting minutes for June 20th, 2023, retirement board meeting minutes for July 24th, 2023, request to advertise for bids for 2024 camera replacement project, licenses new and renewals submitted for November 20th, 2023. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Please call a vote, roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Don't know what the vote is.
Okay. Councilmember
Consent
Whitehead.
agenda.
Yes.
The consent agenda is passed. Are there any elected officials in the audience tonight?
One of the best.
Yes. Would you please approach the podium? Could you please state your name and position for our audience?
Yes, good evening to the council. Good evening to those in attendance tonight. My name is Jamie Powell Horowitz. I am Chief Judge Pro Tem of the 45th District Court. I'm one of two of our local judges.
Your mic isn't on.
Can everyone hear me?
It's recorded for TV.
Would you like me to repeat myself or? All right. Good evening. My name is Jamie Powell Horowitz. I'm the Chief Judge Pro Tem of the 45th District Court. I'm one of two of your local judges here, and I'm very pleased to be with you this evening, asking the council to adopt a resolution, which I'm not up yet, but we'll move on to that when it's time. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I would like to call on Public Safety Director Cooper to make a special presentation.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, City Manager Tungay. I'm before City Council this evening to present a civilian citation. And two men that are actually being honored are brothers. One is Mr. John Wilson, the other is Mr. Albert Wilson Jr. But before I make comments, I'll turn it over, yield to the City Manager, let him have some words.
Director Cooper, I'm going to let you speak, but I do want to say a couple of words at the end. So.
Okay, great. Again, I want to thank City Council for allowing me this opportunity. I'm extremely proud to stand before you this evening with these civilian citations for two very deserving and worthy young men. It's not often that you find yourself in a situation where you have the opportunity to actually save lives, but that's exactly what occurred in the early morning hours of October the 18th, 2023, when a home on the 22,000 block of Sloman caught fire. If I could ask Mr. John Wilson to stand, Mr. Albert Wilson Jr. to stand, please. These are our two heroes, two residents of Oak Park that we're extremely grateful to, and like I said, our Public Safety Department, we owe you a debt of gratitude. This happened again, like I said, on the early morning hours of October the 18th of 2023, when a home caught fire. It was early in the morning. It's about 1:15 a.m. in the morning, and with a little regard for their own safety and well-being, both brothers, Mr. Albert Wilson Jr. and John Wilson, sprang into action after realizing that their neighbor's home was on fire with the family still asleep inside. Both men sprang into action and smashed out the living room and a bedroom window, assisting in rescuing the family out of the home prior to public safety even arriving on the scene. And this evening, I'm proud to honor our two local heroes here. And I spoke with them on the phone a couple weeks ago and just expressed our gratitude from the Public Safety Department. I know a lot of times when we talk about providing safety to the community, we always think of our public safety officials, but it really does take a community to assist us in these efforts. And a lot of times these days, unfortunately, people kind of shy away. They want to mind their own business. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to put themselves at risk to help others. But that was, like I said, quite the opposite situation here. Could not be prouder of these two young men, and I got my eye on them. Hopefully, trying to work and recruit and see if we can get them on the Public Safety Department. They both are gainfully employed and happy with what they're doing. But if they ever change their mind, or your bosses or don't treat you right, we'd love to have you on our team. If I could read verbatim from the civilian citation, and then I will have them come up and accept their awards. And this is an incident. It was a residential fire, and it reads as follows. It says, on Wednesday, October 18th, 2023, at approximately 1:19 a.m., public safety officers were dispatched to the 22,000 block of Sloman on the report of a car on fire that was parked inside a carport. Prior to officers arriving on scene, they received an update from the dispatch center that the fire had extended to the home. The home is occupied with several residents who were believed to be asleep inside. Upon arriving on scene, officers observed significant smoke coming from the eaves of the home, with the attached carport fully engulfed in flames. There were neighbors frantically running up to the home, stating that residents were still inside. There was little time to spare before the entire home became engulfed in flame. Neighbors, Mr. Albert Wilson Jr. and Mr. John Wilson, rushed up to the home, smashed out the living room and bedroom windows in an effort to rescue the residents from the home. Moments later, and with the assistance of Mr. Albert Wilson Jr. and Mr. John Wilson, the residents were safely able to exit the home. Within minutes of evacuating the home, the entire home became consumed in flames, at which time the ceiling and the roof began to collapse. Due to the quick thinking and heroic actions of Mr. Albert Wilson Jr. and Mr. John Wilson, all of the occupants were able to safely escape uninjured from a potentially dangerous situation. The Oak Park Department of Public Safety is grateful for the assistance you provided during this incident, and you are commended for the excellent manner in which you provided that assistance. And this civilian citation for each one of these young men is signed by myself, the Director of Public Safety. And if you'd be so kind to come up and accept these, that'd be great. Photo opportunity. Yeah, the city council will come down and jump in and take a photo. Okay.
Get y'all in the middle. I want to get y'all in the middle of this.
Okay.
Here, man. Great job. Great job. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your service. Man, she coming up.
so much for your service. It's greatly, greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Okay, we got a center underneath the logo
You need to
here.
move over?
I think we might be okay now. Hold on. Can we get him in here? He's trying to hide over there.
Photo bomb there.
Spotlight.
All right, everybody, good smiles, here we go. One more. All right, I got it.
We'll be there, we'll be there.
Family's got to be really proud of you guys.
Albert and John, I don't want to belabor this, but I do want to take this opportunity to. Oh gosh, we got to get family. Come on up.
Mom and dad, yeah.
Come on, you guys got to be really, really proud of them and what they did. You raised them. Thank you.
Are we coming back?
You guys got to be really
Okay.
proud. Kids, right? Come on, get in here with your parents.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry.
Let them look back down. Get mom and dad.
We don't get counseling with you.
Okay, okay.
I put the parents in here.
All right. Here, we'll take a few here, okay? Good smiles, everybody. All right, hold it. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is good. Good smiles, hold it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
So proud of them. So proud.
I just would feel remiss if I didn't share my 2 cents really quickly, though. So I could only hope that I have neighbors like the two of you, because you really did save their lives. And
Thank
on behalf of everybody here at the city government, I want to thank you so much for everything. So
Thank you.
you guys are heroes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
City Manager, may I just say one thing, please? I know we don't have a Juneteenth parade yet, but I think we found the 2 grand marshals for it for next year, 2024. 'Cause, I mean, just a great way to start Thanksgiving. We really appreciate you.
Right.
This is what community is all about. When they say it takes a village, this is our village. This is our strength. This is our hope. Thank you, because you didn't have to do what you did. It's greatly appreciated.
Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, I promised them they could leave and they wouldn't have to sit and labor through the whole meeting. They probably being shy and courteous and don't want to get up.
It's just getting fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Next, we have the annual corridor improvement authority presentation from Municipal Services Director, the great Kim Lamont.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and City Council members. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and City Council members. Before I go through the annual report for the Corridor Improvement Authority, I'm very happy to announce we have a new staff member. Michelle Bishop is our new Manager of Authorities, and she will be taking on the Corridor Improvement Authority activities and the Brownfield Authority. So I'll let her say a few words and tell you a little bit about herself.
Good evening. I am super excited to be here. I've been here a month, and it's already been a very wonderful, welcoming experience. I have been a business owner in my prior life, and I've also worked for our our family's small business. So I have a passion for dealing and working with small business owners. So I am super excited to be in this role. Prior to owning my own business, I was in the world of corporate, working for different display companies, all the major automotive companies, traveling around the country. So I'm actually really excited that I landed here in Oak Park, and I look forward to working with you and working with all the businesses in the community.
Thank you. Welcome to the city of Oak Park.
Thank you.
You will be working under a great, great manager.
Aw, you're too kind. No, I'm lucky to have her. As you know, with my additional responsibilities, I haven't been able to do the best of job that I could have in doing the Quarter Improvement Authority, so I'm glad to have her here to help the businesses and give them what they really need to succeed.
I'm sure you will. Thank you.
Okay, so now to the fun stuff. Benny, if you can get the annual report up. The Quarter Improvement Authority, since it is a tax increment financing authority, we are required by law to come to this, to actually 2 meetings annually and report on what we've accomplished throughout the year. And as you know, the district was established in 2016. Let's see if I can figure this out. And in front of you in this slide here, it's a little hard to read because it's small, but over the past fiscal year, so July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023, in the Corridor Improvement Authority District alone, we issued 17 building permits, which amounted to an investment of $649,713. Our base property value in the district was $3.4 million. As of the last fiscal year, it went up to $3.8 million, so an increase of $400,000 in taxable property values. And then also we take a look at asking rent per square foot year to year. And in 2022, the asking rent was down 2.1% to $13.64. However, the prior year it was up 19%. So I think the numbers are just kind of leveling out from the prior huge increase that we had in 2021. Then we take a look at each of the portions of the corridor. One is Coolidge Highway, and if you look at the vacancy rates from 2022 to 2023, we have gone down 0.7% in vacancies, which is a good thing. And then market rent per square feet also went up, not quite 30 cents, 25 cents per square foot, and market sale price remained the same at $87 a square foot. Then on to 11 Mile Road, our vacancy rate went down 3.1% to 0.6%, which is amazing. The market rent per square foot went up $1.46 a square foot, and the market sale price went up $4 a square foot. 9 Mile Road, the vacancy rate went down again, 0.9% to 1.4. And our market rent per square foot went up slightly at 21 cents a square foot. And then the market sale price went down slightly. The main factor with that is some of the properties that were sold in the last fiscal year were severely blighted, so they went for a lot less per square foot. But the good thing is they have new owners that have made investments. Our highlights in 2023, the 9 Mile resurfacing and cycle track modifications were done. Streetscape furniture and planter pots additionally were purchased. We conducted multiple events in the Water Tower Social District last year. We did the landscaping island at Coolidge and Lincoln. We worked with the other communities in Oakland County on the 9 Mile planning with the other communities in the corridor. We held quarterly business networking and educational events. We approved 2 facade grants. And we changed our facade grant guidelines to now allow murals as a qualified expense. SEMCOG also awarded us the Regional Showcase Award for the 9 Mile redesign project. And we helped Petite's Cheesecake write a grant to MDARD, and they received $160,000, I believe, to purchase additional equipment. New businesses added, we had 17 new businesses. I won't read through them all, but they are all here. These are just the ones in the Corridor Improvement Authority. And that is the end of our presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions that council may have.
Well, I just wanted to say, thank you for the presentation. And I recall when the Corridor Improvement Authority was just created, and we had created it, and it is going in a positive direction. It's going in a positive direction.
what?
Direction. I was trying to say the word trajectory, and my words won't come together. But it's doing good. It's doing good. There was a little small setback, but we made up for it in other areas. So I think that things are going really, really well.
Thank you. Yeah, we're happy with all the results that we've had so far and all the investment that people have made in our community.
And it's very obvious that we have more investments in the community, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns, I just have a quick question.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Are there any questions? Councilmember Julie Egger.
What is an MDARD grant?
Michigan Department of Agriculture. It was a value-added grant, and they do that once a year, and it helps businesses to purchase equipment that they can turn a raw Michigan product into something else. So in this instance, he was purchasing raw materials from farmers in Michigan, and the equipment was helping him turn it into dough and cookies that would speed up his production.
So the business has to source
Michigan
things
products.
from Michigan
Yes.
products.
Yes.
Thank you.
I want to just add something too. So, a couple things. So, Michelle, in the future, this will be your presentation. And I also just want to say welcome to the city. The other thing is, council members, I think it is just an interesting factoid here to share, but years ago, Senator Gilda Jacobs in Huntington Woods sponsored this legislation in 2005, I think it was, to create the Corridor Improvement Authority legislation. And really, no one was biting on this legislation for quite some time. And of course, now there's several throughout the state of Michigan, including in our city. And it does allow us to look at combining our Corridor Improvement Authority district with other cities' Corridor Improvement Authority districts. So that may be something to look at in the future. But I wanted to share that because she really was a pioneer for this legislation that allowed us to create this. So
Well, initially, weren't we partnered with Huntington Woods?
we had talked about it in the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning.
But they did,
It didn't,
we
it
could not.
didn't, it did
yeah.
not work out.
But you never know what the future holds. But that was definitely a conversation. We talked about it with Berkeley, actually, at one point. Some of this runs up against some of their DDA
Berkeley,
district
yeah,
too, though. But
and Huntington Woods, I do recall that. Okay. There are no public hearings, no extra communications, no special licenses, and accounting reports. Next, is there a motion to approve payment of invoices submitted by Garin, Lukow, and Miller, P.C. for legal services in the total amount of $16,811.08?
So moved.
Is there a second?
A second.
Roll call votes, please.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes. The motion passes. Bids. Next under bids is a request award for the bid for the Public Safety Firefighting Gear Project to McQueen Equipment from St. Paul, Minnesota, for the total amount of $226,192.20, and to authorize the remaining $13,870.80 of the $240,000 budget to be used for the outfitting of 5 additional newly hired officers. Would Public Safety Director Cooper join us at the podium to summarize the bid award, please?
he doesn't actually have to do it.
Okay, well, we can move forward. Is the, okay, let's see,
I beat-
ordinances.
You need a
We
Well-
wait,
So moved. Second.
okay, sorry about that. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Okay, and Director Cooper is approaching.
He's on his way, he'll be here shortly.
Okay, so we can come back to him when he's available. 13A, we removed 13A and 13B. So City Attorney,
I have no report this evening.
thank you.
Thank you.
City Manager, next is the City Manager section of the agenda.
Okay, and I think we have, for 15A, the November 7th, 2023 general city election. I think we have some numbers we want to put up on the screen over here.
Yeah, right.
Ooh. Well.
I'd like to know if anybody can read that.
Am I up?
They've been eating their spinach.
We're good. Yep. Poor guys.
Okay.
Well, let me, yeah, you probably can't read that. but
No.
Let me just, so as is usually the case, after an election, a couple things I want to say. I wanted to note that for Mayor Marion McClellan, these are unofficial results. The election has not yet been certified to my knowledge. Mr. City Clerk will let us know when that happens. The Mayor McClellan has been reelected to office. Councilmember Julie Edgar has been reelected to office, and Councilmember Solomon Radner has been reelected to office. Proposal 1 passed by 2,856 votes to 2,283 votes. Proposal 2 passed by 2,924 votes to 2,079 votes. So both of our proposals passed, and I'll be going into some more details on next steps we'll be taking related to that in just a moment here later on in the agenda. I also wanted to thank our city clerk's office, our director of elections, Jolyn Williams, who is not here tonight, but did a wonderful job working with our community. I see we have a handout with some more detailed precinct level. No, okay. But another very successful election in the city of Oak Park, and we're returning all of our incumbents. Congratulations. And our organizational meeting will take place on December 4th, which will be our next city council meeting, and the reason for that is because of the election law changes led us to not being able to do the organizational meeting immediately after the election. Are there any questions or comments or concerns about any of that, council members?
I'd just like to say congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, moving on then to
Elevate Oak Park.
15B, actually, I'm sorry, 15 Elevate Oak Park project update. So, council members, a couple of things I wanted to note here with this particular section of the agenda. So, during the days when we were building this building, the City Hall library renovation project, on every second agenda of the council, I would include an update section. And that's what I'm going to do here too. So this will, the Elevate Oak Park project being our recreation community center and other park improvements and things like that. So you'll see this on the second agenda of every month. And in this section, I will be providing updates as it relates to those projects. So tonight, I want to give you just a really brief overview on where a couple of things stand. Because, obviously, there's some monumental changes about to take place. So, first, we are in the process, now we've formed our internal project management group, and actually tomorrow we have our second meeting already after the election. And we are in the process of putting together plans and figuring out an RFP for bond council to go out and look at bonding against a new community center up to $44 million as the ballot proposal stated. We're also looking to move quickly on the construction of the event hub, which will be the next door to the City Hall space, that green space developed over there, which will include an amphitheater, a Four Seasons Farmers Market event space, a memorial garden, and a walking path. We are always looking at opportunities to pursue more grant funding, and so you'll be seeing more grant applications submitted. Obviously, we want to offset as much of these costs as we can, even though we do have those proposals passed now. So in the next steps, again, you'll see more transparency, more public engagement. Of course, as we get closer to building a community center and doing the event hub and other things, we will include our residents as much as possible to help us shape what those will look like, how they'll be positioned on the property, what kinds of amenities they'll be included, and so forth. There's a tremendous amount of in-person engagement that will take place around that. So more to come on that. We will also need to start looking at the possibility of amending our Parks and Recreation Master Plan again to allow for the development of the ice arena space over here, and then the part of the community center that we would potentially demolish for senior housing potentially. And by the way, we do have a housing study now that Kim Maroney, I'm going to ask her to come back and give a presentation for you on, which does support housing on those two sites. But in order to move forward on those, we'll have to amend the master plan and demolish those properties. All part of the year-long plus process that we went through, so these should not be new concepts. Also,
I'm just gonna miss that ice arena, that's all.
what am I missing here? So I think the other thing too is a lot of residents have asked, you know, when do these tax increases go into effect? And they will go into effect at the summer tax bill of 2024. So that is the earliest that they will see those. But that's a lot. There's going to be a lot more. There's a lot of moving parts involved in this. We're going to manage this very much the same as we did the City Hall project. And I'd like to remind everybody that we built this building $1 million under budget. And we intend on doing the same thing with anything else we construct going forward too. So you do that by adhering to a very strict project budget, holding people to timelines and so forth. And we intend on doing that with these projects, but it is a lot. There's a lot of construction, especially when you include the county's work on Shepherd Park that's going to take place very soon as well. So one last thing I wanted to mention was we are looking at, with these new proposals passed, you know, obviously all these new facilities, all these park improvements, all these things going on in recreation, we are going to need to have a dedicated facilities management group. And so I am looking at costing that out and coming back to you folks and saying, we need to carve out a facilities department outside of our normal area of doing business that will manage, you know, these projects as we move forward. And then of course, once we build them, they will be able to take care of them, janitorial, other vendors and things like that as we move into these new facilities. So that's another piece of this that we're looking to explore as well. So are there any questions?
Yeah, none of the last few things that you had mentioned are written in stone, correct? Well, especially the last portion. I just have some questions about that.
Yeah.
But they will come at the appropriate
None
time,
of
I
what,
guess.
so the only things that I just said that are written in stone are that the proposals and the new taxes are gonna kick in the summer tax bill. The rest of that is up for debate, is up for compromise.
Okay.
But there is a best practices way to handle, you know, building new facilities, operating new facilities and so forth. And I think if I have one message for the community that I want people to walk away from this meeting tonight with, it's that this is by far and away the most, in my opinion, the most monumental change that this community will see probably in a generation. We're talking about massive, massive things. The building we are sitting in was a $21 million project. The community center project alone is a $44 million project. So that's just one project. So there's a whole bunch more to this than I think we realize so far. But that is going to take us changing the way that we do business and the way we look at ourselves and the way we manage our parks and recreation amenities and facilities and parks assets. So big changes coming.
Okay, well, we're up for the changes. Okay, 45th District Court.
Okay, next on the city manager agenda is 15B, resolution approving a contract between the State Court Administrator's Office and the 45th District Court for the 2024 Veterans Treatment Court Grant Program we have our very own Judge Horowitz here to speak to this, and the next one as well, if you'd like.
All right, good evening again, Mayor Pro Tem and the entire council. I first wanted to apologize, it's not on again, can you hear me?
Is the green light on?
No. There we go. All right, good. All right, again, Jamie Powell Horowitz from the 45th District Court. Good evening again. First wanted to apologize. Judge Apple was not able to be present tonight. She presides over the Veterans Treatment Court. She is celebrating the birth of her first grandchild, and she is attending the bris in Los Angeles. So she is not here this evening, but I am prepared to talk about the Veterans Treatment Court. I preside over the Behavioral Health and Wellness Court. I'm here tonight. I'm asking that you adopt the resolution and acknowledge our contract between the Supreme Court Administrator's Office and the 45th District Court. For the citizens who don't know, we run two specialty courts out of the 45th District Court. One is a mental health court. It's named the Behavioral Health and Wellness Court. Judge Apple, again, presides over the Veterans Treatment Court. Every year we apply to the Supreme Court Administrator's Office. We seek grant funding. We provide these specialty courts to people who are placed on probation in our court if they qualify to enter these programs. Both of our programs offer wraparound services for the participants that include therapy, case management, free drug testing, free tethers, and essentially we provide a community for the participants in these programs. We believe very strongly at the court in rehabilitation, not jail when possible. And these courts help us in doing that. I will say that we did get our benchmark report for both courts. The Behavioral Health and Wellness Court has the lowest recidivism rate in the state of any mental health court system. Also, our Veterans Treatment Court, it's also the gold standard. They are also just below, not the lowest recidivism rate in the state, but close. Judge Gubo, my predecessor, I believe he began at 6 years before I started. I cannot speak to how long Judge Apple has had her Veterans Treatment Court. But I presided over it for 2 years since I was elected.
So if I could, so these started a couple years after I came to Oak Park, and they've been going strong ever since. And I think as far as the behavior, they've changed the name, by the way.
We changed the name when I took office. When I campaigned, one of the issues I talked a lot about was the fact that we are in the 8 Mile corridor. Half of the litigants coming through our court are Wayne County residents. Previously, our mental health court grant did not cover treating any litigants who did not live in Oakland County. So we had a significant portion of people coming through our court who weren't eligible for mental health services. We expanded our agreements into Detroit Wayne Integrated Health, so we now have contracts with DWIN and Oakland County OCHN. So we have providers from both systems that come in and work with us, so we rebranded as Behavioral Health and Wellness Court.
And so that, if I'm not mistaken, that is the largest one in the metro area now?
So we were the first, and during my term, I've also been reaching out to other judges, encouraging them to start specialty courts. There is an abundance of need for mental health services within the criminal justice system. Now there is one in Troy, and Oakland County has also started one.
And they're all
That's
grant
great.
funded, too.
They're all grant funded, yes.
I guess I'm telling how long I've been here, but I remember when this program was first initiated and brought to our attention. And I'm very happy to say that we've had very, very positive results. And I think this is something very great for the vets.
I'm very glad to hear that you feel that way. We certainly feel that way.
It's good for
Okay.
everyone, it's good for the public too.
Yeah, it is. It's good for the public,
Good
it's
for
good for
everyone.
the vets, and it's good for the heart.
Yes.
Okay, so we need a resolution approving a contract between the State Court Administration Office and the 45th District Court for the 2024 Veterans Treatment Court Grant Program and for the 2024 Behavioral Health and Wellness Court Grant Program. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? The motion passes.
We need two.
We need two. We need a separate resolution also.
Oh, I need to
for
separate
veterans
them?
treatment groups.
Okay. And for C, request approving a contract between the State Court Administration Office and the 45th District Court for the 2024 Behavioral Health and Wellness Court Grant Program. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes.
I'd like to thank the council for their resolutions and approval of the resolutions. We are deeply grateful.
Keep facilitating those amazing services.
We will do it as long as SCALE will keep giving us the grant, and there will never come a time that we don't apply for them. So.
Okay, great, keep applying. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, and then 15D is a request to waive the Shepherd Park Shelter 1 rental fee for Willie Horton. So, council members, in your packet, we received an inquiry from Willie Horton to rent Shelter 1 in Shepherd Park. We are at that time of the year where shelter rentals become heavy. And it's for Labor Day, I believe. Lori, day before Labor Day. And he is asking to waive the fee. This will be, I think, what, Lori, is 27th year doing this? In the past, it has come to my attention that the fee has been waived in exchange for him, now Willie Horton is a famous baseball player, I think we know that, in exchange for him providing youth camps and other things to
Community service.
communities, right. As far as I know, that has not happened in the recent past. So the request, and in my exchanges with him and his agent, I said I will put the request on the city council agenda and ask city council if they would consider waiving the fee. And so that's what this request is. It's a family reunion, apparently, that's happening at the shelter. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
We got a question. Do we normally waive fees for family reunions or just for nonprofits?
We do not normally waive fees for private entities, but we have for nonprofits and block clubs in the past. And that's mostly been for special event applications. This is a shelter rental application. Not that really matters, but.
I got a question for our attorney. What kind of precedent are we creating for future requests?
Well, I don't think you're necessarily creating a precedent. Quite frankly, my understanding is that's what the argument has been, that a precedent has been set, so you are required to waive it. In my legal opinion, that is not a precedent. It is binding on this council, and you have full discretion to waive it or not. As the city manager just indicated, my understanding is historically the city only waives the fee. Again, if there's a community-wide benefit, perhaps a nonprofit, again, that has some benefit to the community, or at least an entity that's otherwise opening the facility up to the public. My understanding is this has expressly been advised it will not be open to the public. It is solely for Mr. Horton and his family.
And I just wanted to add too that on that point, whether or not it would be open to the public, it was specifically said that it would not be open to the public.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Especially since.
That's 2 out of 4, so it's not gonna pass tonight.
Okay, but
I mean, if he hasn't made good on his promises, then it seems sort of silly.
I just want to clarify something, if I could, really quick, council members. I'm not advocating you take any position. I'm just giving you the facts. So I just want to, okay.
No, when you're advocating a position, we know.
So
Quick
is there any
question.
more comments or questions?
Quick question. There was a council member named Willie Horton, though, back in the 90s, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
This is not that same Willie
Okay,
Horton. This is
gotcha.
actually the baseball player,
There was
Willie
a
Horton.
Tiger- Yeah, there was.
Okay, is there
It's a Tiger vaccine.
is there a motion to approve the fee waiver?
Okay, how does this work now? Do we have to make the motion and then, okay, I'll make the motion.
Second.
Let's do a roll call.
Discussion.
All those in,
Okay.
Just briefly for discussion and for the record, Councilmember Edgar, I just want to be clear, Mr. Horton has never made any promises to the city that have not been kept. So I just want to make sure that that is not the impression that's left out there. It is just in this case, there has been no promises made per the request of the city. If that makes sense. Right.
okay,
So,
Roll call vote?
Roll call vote, please. You can
Mayor
go.
Pro Tem Burns,
No.
Councilmember Edgar? No. Councilmember Radner?
No.
And Councilmember Whitehead?
No.
All those in favor? No.
Okay, so council members 15E, which was added to the agenda, and I'm going to have Director Maroney join me at the podium for, but it's a mural approval for 81509 Mile Road for Pi Sci, and I believe we have our owner is here. Boy, it's looking great. So excited.
Good evening again. Yes, as City Manager Tungate said, the owner, Jim Gary, is here. He's making some big investments in Oak Park on 9 Mile, purchasing the building that Pi Sci will be going into, as well as Hanson's Hall. But in front of you tonight, we have a mural approval. As you know, council approves all murals that go in the city. And we have a mural review board that looks over it, and that consists of a local artist, Robert Myrick, and our mayor, Marion McClellan. And we look at it from two aspects, really, whether it's a sign or whether it's a mural. A sign would be something that is over 25% of the mural is sign related. This does not meet that threshold, so it is a mural. And the other item is to look at it from a size standard. We don't regulate on content because art is in the eye of the beholder, as we all know. So we are here tonight to ask City Council to approve the mural, and Benny has a picture of it. And the local artist is Jason Abraham Smith, who has done many other projects within the Metro Detroit area for some major corporations as well.
Where's this mural gonna be?
It'll be, can I speak? It'll be on the west side. You gotta come on.
Yeah, come on up so they can hear you.
Can we get a motion on that discussion?
Go
Yeah,
up.
okay, I'll make a motion.
Second.
So moved?
Okay, so the mural will be on the west side wall that is, faces Forest Street. The building's on the corner of 9 Mile and Forest. So it'll be on the west wall, west facing wall. There's a window on that side wall now. It'll be north of that.
And you're the artist or you're the
Building owner.
building owner?
Yeah,
Which one?
building owner.
Oh, I think it's really cool.
Very colorful.
Actually, the same artist did a mural in our first location inside, and it's, did a lot of our branding too, so
Awesome.
it just kind of brings it up.
Can I just
Very
say,
cool.
just on the building itself. So I just wanted to say, I was just over there the other day, and it just looks wonderful. And Hanson's Hall next, across the street looks great. It's really coming around, so great job.
Thank you.
Is
Yeah,
there a
the
motion?
other nice aspect of this too is that building actually had a billboard on the side of it, and he removed it and is replacing it with art, so it's a win.
Roll call vote?
Councilmember Radner?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns?
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar?
Yes.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem, members of council, that completes the city manager report for this evening. Thank you.
Next is the call to the audience portion of the meeting. There's a 3-minute time limit per speaker. Anyone interested in speaking, please come to the podium and give your name and address.
Mayor Pro Tem, I have some cards.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sure.
Could you please state your name? Can you please state?
Maybe a stupid thing, but to us, I got.
Excuse me.
My name is Cheryl Bischoff, 23110 Seneca.
Thank you.
And we got a notice, that's why it's important to us, from code enforcement about carport. First of all, we did not know that it was prohibited in Oak Park. I feel that the people without garages are discriminated against. We were issued a warning and a fine pending if we didn't take down our carport. We had it up for about 10 years, excluding the last year when they did the outside of our house, when we had siding and a porch built, etc. And also we put a new one up that was gifted to us and took the old one down. We haven't just used it for a car, but for my granddaughter uses it to practice her gymnastics in, and it fits because it fits her tumble bar in it. And we've had dinners in there, including Thanksgiving dinners. And we used it a lot since COVID's been around. My daughter has long-lasting COVID effects, so we've used it for her to go outside and keep an eye on her kids and the friends that were out there playing, since she has scars in her eyes and open sores on her skin throughout her body caused from COVID. I also use it because I have a light sensitivity, and I would go out inside and use it to shelter me from the direct sunlight. And I also like it in the winter because I could go out my back door and immediately go inside without falling. I've had numerous falls due to my health walking out in front. And even though the walks were shoveled, the carport allowed me to get fresh air without the harsh winds blowing at me and stirring up the asthma. This is also true for my husband changing a car battery or having to do a brake job, shelter from the harsh winter's winds and the cold and the sun's burning rays in summer. I feel that we're discriminated against since we can't afford a garage to be built, as others probably do too. The one thing that gets me is my neighbor can build an eyesore saying that it's for her garden. It's 50 by 40 feet and at least 8 feet tall. It's made out of chicken wire and wood. And the city code says that's okay because they can see through it and everything, but it doesn't make it any less of an eyesore. There are rats that get in there, and they do, because she still has her vegetation of leftover tomatoes and stuff in there. Our carport was always kept neat and clean, yet hers had the rats. And what is weird is you're allowed a gazebo. You're not allowed a canopy, but that doesn't make sense. There's hundreds of styles of which you could, of the gazebos. Which ones do you guys consider right for Oak Park? How do we know? So many canopies are against the code, and the Jewish people have sukkahs, and they must take those down within 30 days. But a gazebo can stay. I have examples of gazebos I have brought, also my neighbor's thing, and also my carport. Who's right and why? Code enforcement said even they knew my carport has been up for at least 5 years, and they knew that, yet we never got a citation or a warning. Why was that? Why were we told to take it down? Because it wasn't hurting anything? I bet it looked nice on the outside. Now my neighbor, I asked, she was putting up a fence, and I was just wondering how tall. So that's why they even came out to say something, because she made a comment about it. That's the only reason why the attention was brought to my carport.
Okay.
So I want to know, what do we do to
Thank you.
change that?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
We will get with our Kimberly Maroney,
Okay.
and she can discuss it with you.
Okay, yeah, because code enforcement told me to show up at a meeting and ask that.
Okay.
So that's why I did. Thank you.
Next, Solomon Zeller. Yep.
I think he left,
Okay.
unless he's out there. I was really looking forward, he's my neighbor, I was really
Helen
looking
Miller?
forward to hearing it.
And Sylvia?
Thank you. Can you provide your name and address, please?
My name is Helen Miller. I live at 21800 Church Street, Oak Park, Michigan, 48237.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sybil Haywood, and I am a resident on 21750 Kenosha Street. And we just have some concern. Helen is my neighbor.
Okay, we have to keep it at 3 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes. Okay.
We have a house on Church
Okay.
and Pearson.
It's an eyesore.
Never been done this year. And we need some help.
You say never been done, what do you mean?
The hedges haven't been cut. The city came out and cut part of them. The leaves have not been raked on.
He doesn't cut his lawn like he said, like he's supposed to. I mean, it's for the maintenance. I don't think they're homeowners, but still, you still should take some kind of initiative in wherever you live, because whether you are a homeowner or not, you need to still take care of your property. And it is really frustrating. Everybody else keep their lawn up to par, and I don't understand why this guy doesn't do it. He's, much younger than I am. But, and another thing, I have, on my street, the address is 21751 Kenosha. This guy, I don't know whether he's rebellious or just what his problem is, but he keeps his garbage container on the curb for 6 to 7 days. And when he come out of his house on the side door, he'll look at the garbage can and get in his vehicle, and he's gone. So, you know, I just don't understand. I have called the code enforcer. He did come out. I think he put a ticket on his front porch. Well, not on the front porch, on the door. But I don't even know whether the guy got it or not, because very seldom he even used the front door. He used the side door. So maybe the next time when they come out, they need to put it on, maybe on the side door, if not on both doors. But, you know, it's really disturbing. It really is. And, you know, I just think that, and I don't mean to speculate, but I think something is going on inside that house that should not be. But, you know, I'm just saying. But nevertheless, someone need to be more in tune of what's really going on, because it's frustrating.
Okay.
And
Well, thank you very much.
And I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
You can discuss it with our Kim Maroney in regards to our code enforcement team, but you have to remember, and I do sympathize with what you're saying, but has anyone asked him? Talk to him directly? Oh, okay, I was just curious. Oh. Okay. Are there any other is there anyone else that has comments or concerns in regards for the city council? This portion of call to the audience is over. We will now have a call to the city council. I guess I'll start off. Well, thank you everyone for showing up. Thank you for being patient with me this evening in regards to my foray of being a mayor pro tem for the very first time, facilitating one of the meetings. So thank you. Thank all the residents for their concerns. I love to see people come out and share how they're feeling, no matter what the opinion is. So it's greatly appreciated. I'd like to thank our staff for their good work. And again, thank you to the 45th District Court for facilitating those programs for our veterans. Councilmember Julie Egger. I was going to say Mayor Pro Tem.
Thanks for coming out tonight, everybody. And I also wanted to thank the voters of Oak Park for saying yes to our 2 ballot proposals on November 7th. As the city manager said, it is a game changer. It is going to really boost the city. We're going to do great things. It's going to make everybody happy. And I know we have gotten comments from residents who didn't vote for them because it is a tax increase. But the returns are going to be great. And this is how you grow as a city. And parks are it's critical infrastructure. It raises the quality of life. We saw during the pandemic that people used the parks. This is going to be even better. Our parks are going to be beautiful. And the event hub is going to be insane. We'll be able to do so much here. We'll have a commercial kitchen. We're planning on doing Meals on Wheels from this location. We'll have a memorial garden, an amphitheater. So I'm grateful to voters of Oak Park, and also grateful that I was reelected. So thank you.
Councilman Radner.
Thank you all for coming out. Thank you to the voters for for passing these millages and for re-electing Julie Edgar and myself. And we'll see you all next time. Have a good night.
Councilmember Sean Whitehead.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Thank you, everybody, for voting. As city manager said, this is going to be a generational change with the new rec center that's coming. And we always set out to be the best, have the best parks in all of Oakland County. I always joke that parks is in our name, so we might as well have the best in all of Oakland County, and I think we're well on our way to that. And then I just want to say, have a happy holiday, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. We got so much to be thankful and grateful for here as a city, and I do as well as with my my family that's been growing this year. So have a good night, everybody. Thanks.
With no other business coming before the council, the meeting is adjourned.